guys, welcome to or welcome back to Exposed, and if I'm welcoming you back and you like it here, I'd love it if you stayed and subbed. I put up a really short video about Jay Slater and I got a load of comments which I wasn't expecting. I thought it would just be me and the subbies I already have having a bit of a chat about it, but a few other people have joined in as well. And what I normally do with my comments is I do a comment video, but with this I thought, oh, I'll answer them straight away and that's it. They'll probably just read that and go. But people keep coming back, so I'm going to do what I do with my ordinary comments and do a comment video for this, and I hope that all of you that I'm answering see that I answered you in a video. I hope that makes sense to those of you that are new here. Basically, it was just an off-the-cuff, quick video because I'd gone to do something and all I'd seen on my homepage was Jay Slater's mum, Jay Slater's mum, Jay Slater's mum, Jay Slater's mum. And this was after the funeral, and it's like, is this story ever going to stop? We've been inundated with it on Sky News, BBC News, every news outlet. That's all they were talking about. And now the boy's been found, sadly. He's been laid to rest. Can we not leave the story to lay to rest? But it seems, because I said, it's just weird. The whole thing to me just seems weird. First of all, everybody in the newspapers and the television and wherever else, apart from the people on TikTok who were digging into it, the news outlets were, oh, this poor young boy, his first holiday abroad, and this is what happens, and blah blah blah. And then everyone was coming out saying, whoa, 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 hang on a minute, he's not the sweet little angel you're making him out to be. He's a bit of a thug. And then others were saying, no, he wasn't a thug, he got caught up with things. Then his friend Rachel wasn't a friend, she was a drug dealer, and he was supposed to be getting a job over there as a drug dealer, and he got the drugs and fucked up, and he's been given concrete underpants and the whole thing. But as far as it is now, we still don't know the truth. While all this was going on, which is what got most of us, was there was loads of boys that went missing and girls, and they never got the same amount of news. Why did they choose a criminal to put on the news all the time and not talk about these other young lads that went missing? And now, I mean, I saw people in the comments on Twitter, X, saying, what about this lad? What about this girl? What about this person? So I used to repost them. And I really need to go back and check and see if they were ever found, because what did we hear about them? Bugger all. So I'm going to go through the comments, and if I miss some, I'm sorry. I'm going to do newest and then go back down to the bottom and start from there, because it's easier for me than saying the same thing to a million people. So Penny Pierce said, a family of scam artists. That's the thing, you don't know. The stories that are coming out about this are just so bloody weird. Nobody knows. I have no doubt that she's getting paid for all these interviews. Shameful stuff. This is Letitia. Just shameful. In my opinion, she's turned this into a money-making machine for herself. She says, afraid to touch the money in the GoFundMe, but she touched it anyway, did she not? I don't know whether she took money out of it or not, but I did see her say, keep giving to the GoFundMe when it had passed 30,000, and 30,000 was the goal. And what did she need 30,000 for? She had people volunteering to look for him. She had the Spanish police looking for him. Yes, it might cost money to fly him back and arrange a funeral, but unless you're putting him down in a gold casket, where's 30,000 going? I think it's insane. Helen says you're talking rubbish. Letitia says, then why has she not closed down the GoFundMe? Because she wants more money. Greed. Right, let's make sure I've clicked everyone so I know I've answered you. Sad. Is that all you people got to do. Who cares if she does interviews? Up to her. As for the fund, you didn't have to give, did you? No, but we can have an opinion on it. Helen, we're allowed to have an opinion. Everybody's got one. They're like arseholes. We think it's weird. You might not. Are you a mother? Because I know in my heart, this is the last thing I would be doing. I'd be in the fetal position in the corner of a room, unable to function if this had happened to me. And the fact she could hold herself together when she went over there in the first place amazed me. And it was like, good for you, you're over there, you're looking for your son, that's great. I would have done that. But once I'd found out he was gone, that was it. You wouldn't see me again. And it's not all we care about. I don't care if she does interviews, Helen. I just think it's weird. Brum brum. Is your child's life worth $65,000 or whatever she got once all the fees are taken? There's no money on this planet could make things better for me if I lost any of my children. I'm the same, half-century storm. Possibly if I was potless, which I was when I had my first child, and I needed money for funeral expenses. But then I hate asking for anything, so I'd do it on a HP thing and pay it off. I wouldn't be asking for money. Exactly, but the mother was asking for more money, so you need to ask her that question, not me. Exactly, that's what she was doing. Keep on giving. Why? You'd hit the goal. Why did we need to keep, not me personally, but why do people need to keep on giving? Somebody said Debbie Duncan used to be an incredibly glam page 3 girl in The Sun. I don't know if that was tongue-in-cheek. I said this was tongue-in-cheek. And somebody said, how do you know? She might have been really pretty when she was younger. Well, one, I was of an age that I remember most of the page 3 girls, because I wanted to be Sam Fox when I was younger. Anywho. And I even did a search because it was like, oh, maybe she was. Who knows? And I couldn't find anything related to her being a page 3 model. So I said it was tongue-in-cheek. And then people got a bit angry about that. Maybe she was beautiful when she was younger. Maybe she was. Well, you can't say she wasn't unless you know she wasn't. She wasn't young when she had the boys, in her 30s. So maybe her younger days were page 3 model in Tenerife. No, page 3 is page 3. It's the page 3 of The Sun. That's the only place there was a page 3, not Tenerife. Or it would have been Malaga back then. Women can lose their looks as they age, or even put on weight and gather some sags and wrinkles. Why do you think all the well-off celebrities have all these cosmetic surgeries? She might have had lovely thick dark hair and really looked glam when young. Remember, we are seeing her at her worst in all the TV and newspaper images. Who knows what Debbie used to do? Haha. Yeah, I mean, she might have been a model, but she wasn't on page 3. Because I checked. Just to make sure. That was my friend Bonnie who I answered. See, I answered these, but here's a few that haven't been answered. Right. I think she knows that her son, whether with or without her consent, was not entirely innocent, and she wants to paint a good picture of him and arouse sympathy for him through her interviews. And yes, she also benefits from this extra money. I do not trust her. But see, the thing is, she didn't need to say anything. All the papers and the TV were saying, oh, this poor young man, blah, blah, blah. Not one of them said that he'd just got off his tag or whatever it was he had. Nobody said that. So he was painted as this innocent little boy when he wasn't. But do you think everybody thinks that he's innocent? No. Most people... See, the older people that just watch the news and read the newspapers, they would have thought, poor young man. But those that have TikTok and X and all the rest of it, they'll have seen the rest of the stories. It's a crime to watch a person, Tom, being brutally almost killed without helping this person or calling the police. It also cannot be ruled out that he committed criminal acts in the holiday country. He was with criminal people there, and at the end possibly with highly criminal creatures together. I also think that the reason why people show him so much sympathy is his good looks. I think so as well. I really do. It's because he is a good looking lad. Oh, sorry, he was a good looking lad. And he's got a nice smile, and you think, oh, he can't have done anything bad. And because the newspapers never said anything, everybody felt sorry for him, which you would. I live in Norway, and when Jay disappeared, his picture was printed very large in our MSM, and after a long summary about him, they mentioned on side very short that other people were missing too. 12 people that are missing in 6 months prior to Jay's case. After reading in the foreign media that he was involved in negative things in his country and probably there too, our MSM didn't mention him anymore. See, that's what I would have expected. They had the police looking for him. Everything was being done for him. He didn't need to be splashed across all the front pages of the papers. Was the one I didn't answer here. I'm of the opinion they knew someone had Jay. See, why did he go to the B&B if it wasn't to steal off them, like somebody said, or to do with drugs? No, you're saying here, well, if she knows so much, she needs to enlighten us all then, doesn't she? Annie cannot get her own facts straight, in my opinion. We all know that Lucy set up the GoFundMe, and that supposedly the mother told Rachel to take hers down. I didn't know Rachel had one at the same time. I thought you were talking about Lucy, because I know Lucy set it up. It's just... See, that's the thing. It has more questions than answers. That's the problem. Because, right, they said they found him, pardon me. They found him where he said he was. People had been looking there and they hadn't found him. But then he was there. Then people were thinking that the two Airbnb men had shoved him off a cliff or whatever. But then the police or the autopsy people said that his injuries were in line with him tripping and falling. See, what gets me is the beginning of this whole thing. Someone I just read earlier in a comment, that's why I decided to do the video. Somebody said that he didn't phone Lucy, Lucy phoned him, that he had full charge because it was seen. Right, whichever way about it went, if he phoned Lucy or Lucy phoned him, and he said, I've started walking because it's 2 hours till the bus gets here, and I've tripped over and I've cut my leg on a cactus, and I'm dying with a hangover, and I've got withdrawals, wouldn't you say, don't be such a knob, turn around and go and sit at the bus stop, I'll get one of my friends to come in a car and we'll come and pick you up, or wait for the bus, don't walk, it's miles. That's the bit I never understood. Because that's what I would have said. What the fuck are you doing? Where are you walking to? Sit down, you knobhead. Annie, the guy has been the victim of foul play. Rachel Haag is the one who done the GoFundMe. So get your facts correct. Maybe she'll hire her own investigators. You don't know what she's doing. Give it a rest with the scam artist crap. I never said she was a scam artist. I just said it was all fucking weird. Maybe she wants to get to the truth. Well, she should have stayed in Spain and hired somebody then. Because the longer you leave it, the Airbnb's been scrubbed to within an inch of its life, so there'll be no fucking news there. There's no CCTV, otherwise the police would have used it in the first place. There's nothing for a private investigator to find now. You needed them at the start, not at the end. Squiggles. Debbie can do an interview from the son if she likes, Mrs. Yeah, I know. I'm not saying she can't. I'm just saying it's weird. Yes, spot on. What? She would have no channel or subscribers the way she's going, and her foul mouth, bit of a cheek at the beginning to say, keep comments respectful, really. Helen! It's for my live, it says keep things respectful, and I have a warning that I have a sailor's gob. So why is that up twice? And I dare say most of you swear too, so don't be pretending you're all innocent when you're not. Mrs. Stormtrooper. I reckon he was murdered and his mother wants the story to go on, and I'm with her on this. Too many stories are swept under the carpet and forgotten about. This story is different. All Jay's friends are obviously lying. Nothing adds up. Nothing does add up with it. I totally agree. Because I can't make head nor tail of it, because everyone's telling a different story. But she should have stayed in Spain and used the GoFundMe money to keep the story alive and find out exactly what happened to her son. It's too late now. This should all have been done at the start. And what I find weird is in the interview, she's not talking about him. She's going on about all the horrible people on TikTok and all the trolls being horrible to her. Who gives a fuck about trolls on TikTok? When you want to find out what the fuck happened to your son, I wouldn't care less if someone on TikTok was pulling me apart. That isn't important now. What happened to Jay is important, and why. And who did what to who and where. That's what's important. Not fucking TikTok trolls. Oh, I got that out without spitting all over the place. The thing is, people will give if they want to. It's up to them, and they don't have to listen to her if they don't want to. Why don't people leave her alone? And does it matter that she most probably grieving, and keep on talking about it like this, and you would have no subscribers? I haven't earned subscribers from this. This was just something I put up to have a chat with my subscribers about. I wasn't expecting you lot to pop up out of nowhere, but now that you're here, I'm answering you. I think what she's going through is sad. I said if people don't like what she's doing, don't watch her. Just saying. If she wants to go on telly every 25 minutes and talk about TikTok trolls, she can. I don't give a fuck. I just think it's weird. What's more important, TikTok trolls or her son? Oh, I know that I was wrong to say about your subscribers. If I'm wrong, then I will say just a bad day. And yes, I do get the feeling it's now money. We'll be subscribing to you. Fair play. Oh, thank you. Say what you think. I like that. As you know, lol, you can do a talk on the other missing one. Oh my god, I can't remember his name. His mum put out a £50,000 reward. Wow. And he had a taxi to his mum. Never seen him again. If you know the case, let me know. Otherwise, I will link on the YouTuber heard it if I can. If I can fucking find that as well. If you find it, let me know, Helen, because I haven't heard that story. I'll just let you know. But you couldn't get away from Jay Slater, is what I'm saying. He was everywhere. Susan, it's sad when a parent makes money off their child's death because you know she didn't do those interviews for free. I know, and it's like, it wasn't so much that she's getting paid for it either. It's the fact that she's going on about TikTok trolls. Who gives a fuck about them? The reason she wants to shut the TikTok up is because they reveal his shady life, not the innocent, on his first holiday alone. Dodge mother and her criminal son. That's the thing. And now, because she keeps doing interviews, people will look more into it and see all the dodgy things. And then what? Will they go and take their money out of GoFundMe when they hear the whole truth? Why are we picking on a woman that's just lost her 19-year-old son who was brutally murdered, in my opinion? Debbie, what do you know that we don't know? What information have you got that he was murdered? And I wasn't picking on her. Go back and watch the video again. See, they said, was it the Spanish health people? See, for those of you that are new, I've got fibromyalgia, which means I have fibro fog, which means I talk bollocks most of the time, and I can start a sentence, get 2 minutes into it and forget what the hell it was I was trying to say. So no, I'm not drunk or on drugs. I just have fibro fog. But how do we know he's murdered when the Spanish authorities said it was in line with a fall? See, it, like I keep saying, like we're all saying, it makes no sense. Why? Right, who has ever had a wild night, drunk a skinful, got up in the morning, right, this not even drugs, just alcohol, got up early the next morning in full-on sun, no water, and decided I'm going to walk 11 miles back to my apartment? Nobody. You'd peep out from under your duvet and go, oh, fuck that. Find the nearest drink to drink, no matter what it was, on your bedside table. It could have been there for a month. You don't care because your mouth tastes like the bottom of a bird's cage. And you put the duvet back over your head until you feel halfway human. Why would he want to walk? If he's coming down off drugs, no water. So maybe he was murdered, but wouldn't they have... It makes no sense. That page of the Sun, they are the same interview with Debbie because she's got the same top on. Yeah. I wasn't having a go. I wasn't either, Carol. I'm just saying that she was everywhere. Battery saver is on. Oh, for frig's sake, did I not plug it in? Help. See? This is another side of fibro. You start doing something, you get distracted, and you think you've plugged your computer in and you haven't. Elizabeth, unfortunately tragedy is often used as a means to exploit money from others. If, God forbid, I lost a child, the last thing I'd want to do is be going around giving interviews. That's all I was saying. It just seems weird. While he hadn't been found, yeah, I'd be screaming it from the rooftop so that everybody was out looking for him. But he's been found. He's been laid to rest. Let him sleep. Unless there's more to it and he was murdered, then fine. Tell us that. And I'm sure there's more than one fucking armchair detective that'd look into it. I mean, look how they found out about Chris Watts' children being alive when he put them in the car. That was an armchair detective on YouTube. Who found Gabby Petito? YouTubers. So if there's something odd, shout it. And just tell the TikTok fucking trolls to fuck off. Ignore them. Why are you even giving them airspace? Maria, his phone wasn't on 1%. It shows it was on charge with plenty of battery when his position was shared to Lucy. So who's giving all the lies? His phone was fully charged and it's been proved that Lucy rang him, not the other way round. He didn't have his phone. Someone dumped it up there. So when are we going to hear the truth? What is the truth of it all? See, the problem with a lot of it was the language barrier. Had they been English-speaking police, we would have heard a lot more. We'd have understood a lot more of what they were saying. So that was a problem from the start. But if it's this dodgy, why is it not? Why is the case closed? Why are people not looking into it more? Lucy is a groomer and recruiter for drug selling, in my opinion. It wasn't a holiday, it was a work trip to sell drugs. Lucy recruited him. She needs arresting. I think Lucy needs a lot more questioning. She seems to have got off of this really light, doesn't she? My friend lost her 14-year-old to cancer. She couldn't afford a lavish funeral for him. Why did she think her drug-selling violent son deserved more than my friend's son? I'm sure she wouldn't have thought hers deserved more than yours. because at the end of the day, all of us mothers feel the same way about other people's children as well. And your friend deserved to have the best send-off for her son. Your friend deserved to not lose her baby at 14. But this is the thing. This is the other side of it. Innocents dying every day of the week, and he gets all the airtime. It makes no sense. Karen, hiya. I'm beginning to think this is some scam to make a film. Give it a real feel. People would go to the movies to see it. Makes me wonder if Jay is even a real person, just because of all the lies and inconsistencies. The guy who found him 29 days later seemingly knew Jay was where he was found. And then Rachel, Bede's mum, who's Bede's, had set one up, but Hayes' family asked her to take it down. Then the film crew at the funeral. Then, as you point out, going on doing interviews. Hopefully she's just wanting to keep it in people's heads. Yep, I think it's a con. And any parent would be in a mess. Go doing interviews. Jay seemingly got bartered at 12. I'm not sure if that's just gossip. Seemingly Jay never done any hitting. He was just charged with being there. Well, that's the thing. You do get, if you're there in a group, you do get charged. Tom Hilton, the lad's name who was attacked. Yeah, I saw where he came out and said, because people were saying, you know, it's Jay's right and whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he was saying, you know, no, this is horrible. Please try and find him. And people think he set it up. Wow. I'm not sure that could be done, but there's more snakes and ladders than the game. We will see with time. Keep lifted. Blessings. Thank you. It is snakes and ladders. You think you've got the hang of it, and it's like, whoop, you're down another snake and you don't know what's going on. No, Pauline. Tom Hilton is no angel. If you look at his past, he has multiple convictions for multiple offences, and his dad was a convicted drug dealer who spent time in prison with Ayob, the drug dealer who was at the B&B. I was just going to say, was he the... In my opinion, he came out and said he was sorry about Jay to try and deflect attention from him, but it backfired. He was seen at the rave. The one in Spain or the one they had at his funeral? See, I need to be more confused. Very odd behaviour concerning every last person involved. I'm sure it is an MSM effort to socially engineer a psyop to help install censorship. I saw MSM and was going to say ASMR. I tell you, my head's messed. Why is the GoFundMe still up? I don't know, Vanessa. That's what I want to know. Surely it should be. They put a thing on it for 30,000. Once it hits 30,000, shouldn't it just stop? I don't understand. It makes no sense. And people know he's been found. They know he's been buried. Yet they're still giving money. I don't understand. Amber. Allegedly, Rachel Hargreaves has been setting up the remaining GoFundMe accounts, and Debbie has asked for her to take them down and post the one account that Lucy's real name, allegedly, aka Natasha, set up for Debbie around 48 hours into Jay going missing. And if Debbie is not going to work with police and open the UK with Scotland Yard, this needs to be taken down, and no irrelevant future interviews need to take place. And she should come out and make a statement to thank the people who donated, and that should be her final interview. And my partner, who passed on, had to have his body moved to another area, which was a 3-hour drive, and got a send-off via the co-op for 1,200. Hope your partner rests in peace, Amber. But that's the thing, she's never said thank you. From what I've seen, she may have done. I'm just saying, I haven't seen her. And that was the thing, you see, set up 48 hours into him going missing. Why did they think they needed a GoFundMe when they had the police out looking for him? When someone goes missing in the UK and the police are out looking for them, do people automatically start a GoFundMe? No. That, to me, made me wonder. That was one of the things I thought was weird. Way too much judgment here, made on superficial knowledge. Who's judging? I've just got an opinion. Don't dismiss the truth as conspiracy theories yet to be prepared to accept the mainstream media narrative bullshit. Read up, learn, understand. This is a huge mafioso and corrupt authorities cover-up of a murdered son, and he was quite possibly set up months in advance. She knows she's ricocheting around in grief, trying to cope with horrific details. Surrounded by people trying to exploit, not able to get hidden truth and trying to work out how to navigate. It's weird because the true story isn't public. It is on TikTok, amongst other nonsense. She didn't set up the GoFundMe. I know she didn't. Oh, to pay the ransom. What ransom? Greedy and guilty people around her did, and she hasn't used it. Sure, her son was no angel, but he did not deserve to be set up, made vulnerable, kidnapped, held to ransom and murdered. I have every sympathy for her, and I wish justice for Jay and the family. It's the least they deserve. Right. If Vicky, or Vic Lou, this is true, me personally, if this was happening to my family, I would still be in Tenerife. Was it? I keep saying Tenerife. I don't even know if it was Tenerife. And I would be screaming from the top of the mountains, and I would not move until whoever killed my son was brought to justice. If I'd heard he'd gone to an Airbnb, I'd have been there, knocking on the door, asking the people in it, why was my son here? What was going on? I'd have phoned ahead if I'd heard they were getting a plane back to wherever and got friends to meet them at the airport and asked them what the fuck's going on. I would not have let it lie if I knew my son had been murdered. Nobody's mentioned murdered, only you. And someone else on here. But that's the thing. The only place his murder is being mentioned is TikTok. Is it TikTok theories gone mental? Is it people making up things to get more views? Who knows? Have the Spanish police or whatever they are closed the words. Closed the case. That's the word. Is it closed? If it isn't, you've buried him. He's laid to rest. Good. Right. Plane. Back there. Sit in the fucking area at the front. Reception area. And annoy the ever-loving shit out of every policeman that goes in and goes out until you get an answer. That's what I'd be doing. I wouldn't be making interviews and moaning about TikTok trolls. Will the truth ever come out? Who knows? I'd like to know what the truth is. Please check the facts of this case before passing judgment on this grieving mother. I'm not passing judgment on her, wandering wanderer. I think it's weird. I have questions. I'm just surmising. I have an opinion. Like I said at the start, they're like arseholes. We all have them. Everyone is entitled to talk. Who's been gaslit by the other players involved in this situation. For information on how to cover a true crime case correctly, please watch Wax Unfiltered, who has thoroughly researched the facts of the matter and presents them in intelligent and competent streams. Right, Wandering Wonders, I'm not a crime channel. Have you seen the title of my channel? I'm not a crime channel. I have said that more than once. I read crime stories on my other channel because I'm not capable of putting stories together in a coherent fashion because I have fibrofog. I never said I was the be-all and end-all of the crime community. I had a question. I said it was weird. I thought this video would just be seen by my subscribers and we'd have a chat about it. Don't come in here making assumptions that I'm something that I'm not. Take note of the difference between the numbers of yours and his subscribers. For fuck's sake. It's got nothing to do with subscribers. We're not all born with subscribers falling out of our arse, are we? You have to work. You have to gain subscribers. Did he start, whoever he is, Wandering Wax, did he start with 1 million subscribers? I don't think so. Has he gained all his subscribers because he's doing stories on Jay Slater? You will notice that my question is after the lad's been buried. If I wanted to jump on the Jay Slater train and try and get more subscribers, I'd have done it at the start. That's not what this is about. It was just a comment. Finally, please stop using foul language. You want the audience to take you seriously. It's unbecoming of a presenter and weakens your subscriber numbers. I can say whatever the fuck I want to say. If you don't like my language, you don't have to stay here. I'm not looking to gain subscribers on some child's death. That's not what I'm doing here. It was just a off-the-cuff comment to my subscribers who do understand me. Did they think this was weird too? I heard the USA is trying to buy out TikTok out or close it down. All this talking about TikTok, there's a motive behind it. And Debbie is doing her bit to back this up by mentioning TikTok. No, you're spot on, not normal behaviour after losing your son. Thank you. I think a lot of people want to shut TikTok down, don't they? I don't get TikTok. I'm too old for TikTok. I don't get the layout. I don't understand how you find anything. And like when all the videos are together, you don't know if they're in order. I don't like it. But it's great for all the younger kids because it keeps all us grannies over here. And they can be over there talking about whatever the hell they like. There'll be something else. If TikTok goes down, there'll be something else after TikTok. There's always going to be something. What I don't get is how they get so many subscribers so quickly. I mean, like that, what's her name? That beauty girl that I can't bear. Noguera. Michaela. Is that it? Michaela Noguera? Whatever. She's got half the fucking world as subscribers. It makes no sense to me. I think this is a post for Sun readers. Really? Numpty? Numpty Num Num. I love that name. Numpty Num Num. No, it wasn't. It was for my subscribers. It was nothing to do with anybody. Not a happy bunny. There's more to this story than a lot of people aren't being honest about. I think what the mother should have done with the rest of the money once she buried her son, which I have to say that a lot of good people have died and don't get that sort of lavish send-off. I think the rest of the money should have been given to the family that runs the charity that brings loved ones home from foreign countries that have died because they don't have travel insurance. That would have been a good use of the remainder. But if she is wanting to investigate it more, then she needs to hurry up and get it done before nobody remembers anything. I can't remember what I did 2 days ago. Like if someone came up to me and said, did you see anything weird on the beach on the 27th of whatever? You'd be like, what? When? When was that? What was I doing? Thankfully nowadays most people have a phone and they have dates on it, and you know, if they're taking pictures or videos, there could be something in the background, which is great. But it needs to be done now. And if it isn't suspicious, and if he did wander off with a hangover and trip up and fall down the mountain, then can we stop having 9 million stories about Jay Slater on the news, please? Anywho, that was all I had to say. And if you sat through that, thank you very much. And I will see my regulars in a new one, hopefully. And if any of you want to stay along, you're more than welcome. But this isn't a crime channel, so just so you know.